I am not touching the microphone all this time.
Do you see me touching the microphone? And I'm a professional. Let's see, is this?
You hurt my feet.
What?
You hurt my feet.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
Okay.
What's up, Read My Mind Radio family? My name is Thomas Reed. I'm the producer and host of this podcast, bringing you compelling people impacted by all degrees of vision loss, from low vision to total blindness. Every now and then, when inspired, I bring you stories from my own experiences as a man adjusting to becoming blind as an adult. If you are newly impacted by blindness and you found the podcast, first of all, welcome. Secondly, I think you're going to like it here. Today's episode does include my wife, Marlette. Ever since the last episode titled Celebrating 15 Years of Being Blind, I received some feedback from people who enjoyed hearing from her. I made the mistake of letting her know that. As you'll see here today, it may have went to her head. Despite that, I asked her on because, well, I'm a great husband. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Read my mind. Read my mind. Let me start this off with a warm, virtual hug for you all. It feels like every day the idea of normal is being pushed further and further. What we would have expected and accepted seems to be a continuous slide in the wrong direction. Specifically, putting kids in cages. The death of 80,000 people in 2 months. Or racists shooting an innocent young black man. Our responsibility is not to accept it. Not to simply act like it's normal. On this podcast, I don't often go into politics or current affairs, except when I feel it relates to the process of adjusting to blindness. These connections are from my perspective. It's called Read My Mind Radio, after all. So when is a good time to accept a new normal? Right now, just about everyone on this planet is dealing with a new normal. Although we're all experiencing this pandemic differently, we're doing it together. There's a similar feeling around acquiring a disability. Now, I'm referring to all of those impacted, parent, child, spouse, for example. Similar feelings, but there are some real differences between what is being felt during the pandemic and the experience of disability. For one, the entire world isn't analyzing it on every news channel. There aren't easy ways to gain multiple perspectives. It's more likely something the family goes through alone. Hopefully, it's a real opportunity for that family to become a unit, a real team. I'm on this journey with you, so I get it. And so does my wife, Marlette. I invited her on the show to get that team perspective from someone impacted by blindness. What I noticed from the last time is that if I asked you to introduce yourself, you have a big production necessary for the intro, and I don't think I'm going to do that this time. Can you please just say your name for the record?
Marlette Reed.
And who are you?
I'm the baddest chick. I'm your wife.
Hey, hold on. Who's bad? I'm the baddest chick.
Do you want to introduce yourself anyway?
My name is Marlette Reed. Currently writing a book, so it's going to be M.E. Reed.
You here to promote your book? Okay, when my wife does publish her book, I'm not only buying a bunch of copies for the Read My Mind Radio family, but she's definitely coming on the podcast. And that, I tell you right now, will be the best episode I ever produce. It's not always the case, but Marlette and I share some perspective around this idea of finding a new normal. When your life is uprooted, because that's what everybody kind of is really saying.
Right.
And then now you have to start to see what is going to be the new normal. And I'm saying that we've been there. The difference to me is that while we were doing that, everyone was still living their normal. It felt like we were the only ones doing that because it was just impacting us and our family. Do you see any parallels between what we've been through and what's going on right now?
Nothing new to us. Trying to figure out what to do, come up with new ideas of entertaining the family, picnics in the living room or family night, movies. Social distancing, that's funny to me because no one really came around. We understood about social distancing. People were doing that to us for quite some time, distancing themselves from us.
Damn.
Well, it's true. Mm-hmm. They were distancing themselves. If we went to a party, they did social distancing there too. We would be in a corner, or we'd be in one side and they'd be on another side. They just didn't have a mask.
At least not one that was visible. At the time of this conversation, I was in the process of producing the next episode of the podcast, featuring Dr. Mona Minkara and her Planes, Trains, and Canes production team. The documentary series, which can be found on YouTube, follows Mona, who is blind, on a journey to 5 different cities around the world where she travels alone using public transportation. I'm encouraging you to check out the series, which I'll link to on readmymind.com. I was curious to see what, if any, parallels Marlette would draw after an explanation of the documentary's concept. That is, the resulting encounters a blind woman receives as she's recorded on video while traveling through an airport or subway. Marlette's perspective wasn't what I expected, but it's definitely understandable how she got there.
It made me think of African Americans, really, when they try to navigate or go through life, how people treat them.
Damn, are you black?
How people treat us. Walking into a bank or walking into a store, walking in a neighborhood.
No peace! No justice! No peace! Arrests in the shooting death of a jogger in a Brunswick neighborhood for killing Ahmaud Arbery. The charges, murder and aggravated assault.
Perspective matters. This conversation was on the heels of this latest senseless, racist murder of Ahmaud Arbery. When it comes to adjusting to blindness, Marlette and my family are OGs in this game.
We have our thing down. We already know what's going on. Like, I know that people talk to me instead of you, and I know how I handle that.
All right, so give me an example of that.
If we go anywhere where you have to do something, they'll talk to me.
If somebody asks you for an example of that, is there any specific one that you would give? I'm curious to see if it's the same one.
We went to go vote.
Oh my God.
The woman said, you can bring him over here. You know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but something to that effect. You spoke up. You said whatever it is that you wanted to say.
I don't know if I said something or if I, whatever. I probably said something. Like, oh, no, you could talk to me. That's probably what I said. And then, so it wasn't until after I got out.
And she said, I shouldn't have done that. I liked her apology, and it was to you. I don't think she ever did that again.
You're right. So every time, like, we're good. Like, we're real good. Like, I say hello, she says hello, and it's cool. It's all good. That was a nice interaction because it came out where she got it, like, immediately. Do you remember the first time? You might have not noticed it even happened the first time.
Maybe like the first time it happened, I didn't really think about it. Maybe about the 3rd or 4th time, I probably thought about it more. I think you and I spoke about it. You knew it was taking place, and so you would just speak up real quick. But then I think after we talked about it, I was like, well, I'm not going to say anything. You can just take your time in answering, not just jump in there.
Y'all hear my wife's way of trying to tell me to chill? That's cute, right? I know it's because she doesn't want me to be upset, but ignoring it doesn't make it go away. I know I shouldn't take things personally, but having someone talk around me while I'm standing right there? Remember, I said there are things we should never accept as normal. This is one of them. My recommendation?
You would speak on it or be vocal about how it made you feel, but not like it caused tension between us. I never answer for you. I won't answer for you. I will walk away, or I'll turn and look at you for you to respond, or I will look at my phone.
Marlette is so great with these situations now that every time this happens, I almost feel sorry for the perpetrator. I can feel their confusion. If I'm feeling, let's just say, a bit feisty, I let them hold on to their confusion and embarrassment For a little while. You brought it out, you hold it. It works. They get it. It's a cool play that Marlette and I execute well together.
We still have hiccups. What works best for us when we travel is if we discuss it beforehand. In the beginning, it was a lot of hiccups there because you were used to taking the bags and just going. Boom. When we freestyle it, we generally tend to have some hiccups.
Did you notice how Marlette made it sound like I was the cause? As in, you were used to taking the bags and going.
Boom.
She's right. But truthfully, we were both used to that. She's also right in the need for us to all be on the same page. Communicate the plan before trying to execute. On this team, we each have to play our role at any given time. Our roster includes 2 more players, our girls.
When they were little, that was a little harder. Usually they walked in front of us. Rihanna would hold her sister's hand and they would walk in front of us, sometimes behind us, and I would glance back occasionally just to make sure they were still with us.
I remember that was a thing because I would always ask you where the girls.
Yeah.
They're 16 and 22 now. Amazingly, Marlette is still hovering around 32. Traveling with them today?
The girls leave us. They'll make sure that we don't have anything to hold us up. All we have to do is just get where we got to go. They're more in tune to what works to get us to where we need to go. Like when we went on the cruise, they took the bags.
I had a bag.
You wouldn't give up your bag.
I know, yeah. I'm not
Yeah, you're not going to give up your bag. You still got that machismo.
Oh, wait, we going to go there? You think that's machismo? That's all right. I don't have to go into that because you're wrong. I don't want to be like, oh my goodness, Marlette, we don't like her anymore. Okay, despite my lovely wife's incorrect assessment that I have even an ounce of machismo, her lessons here can be helpful no matter who makes up your team. For example, producing Planes, Trains, and Canes requires a real team effort. You can hear all about that in the next episode of this podcast. Before that episode drops on June 2nd, go check out Planes, Trains, and Canes. It's not necessarily a prerequisite, but we do dance around some specific scenes from the documentary series. I'm also curious to see if we see similar parallels between the show and Adjusting to Blindness.
I feel like if you're traveling with someone who's blind, you two should have a conversation. What makes each one comfortable? In the beginning, when this all happened, I think, in my feelings. I don't think I really thought about you or me, but more so how everybody else was looking at us. Once I got over that part, which I'm not fully over it, but for the most part, I am, we work better.
Adjusting to Blindness is not really a place you arrive, but rather an ongoing journey. You either decide to take it or find yourself, not really going anywhere. What would you say goes into being able to accept a new normal?
Understanding you can't change anything, so you got to make it work for you. You know, the pandemic came around. There's nothing we can do about it. There's no cure. The only thing at this point is you got to stay away from people. So that is going to be our new normal. Handle it. Things always change. That's life. Nothing ever stays the same. You got to change with the times.
That's real talk. It doesn't sound like you're very compassionate about it. I thought you might get a little more.
It is
I thought you might be a little more compassionate.
I am being compassionate. I'm telling you the truth. I'm trying to get you to get over it quickly. Pull off the Band-Aid. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. I mean, I can hold your hand and we can go through it, but...
See, I don't understand why you can do that. And when I do that, you're like, Tommy, blah, blah, blah. But like, I try to tell everyone, I'm the compassionate one in the family. And I think I just got proof of that. There's definitely evidence.
I realized one thing about this pandemic. I don't know a lot of people, but it's this whole thing with the TikTok.
Oh, my God.
But wait a minute, really. This whole thing with the TikTok.
Hold on. Because I don't know if everybody knows TikTok. And now you're
TikTok
freaking
is
addiction to
this
TikTok.
app where the older generations are dominating this app. I think a lot of people know about TikTok. But the great thing about TikTok is that...
Read My Mind Radio family, I need your help. I think my wife has an addiction to TikTok. If you don't know, it's a pretty popular app now that pre-pandemic was considered for the kids. It enables quick, short videos often consisting of lip syncing or short dance routines. I'm going to spare you as she tries to rationalize her obsession with claims of this app building bridges. I'm not saying it's not true, because honestly, I don't really use the app. The majority of the content that I've come across is predominantly visual, and audio description is not an option. Even the killer content I made with my youngest, Raven, a highly sophisticated and intricate dance routine, had no way of including description. Yo, who the TikTok killer?
That would be you, Thomas.
That's me, the TikTok killer. I think you only like TikTok because you like to say TikTok. I think that's why this app is actually doing so well, because people like to say TikTok. I should have named my podcast TikTok, and I probably have a whole lot more people listening
I don't know, maybe
and
you're
subscribing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
TikTok, yeah.
I ask people to subscribe.
It's, I think it's the way you ask people.
What?
It's the way you do it. You have to ask.
Well, first
the
of
right
all,
way.
how do I do it? That is the way
I don't know how
do
you
it.
do it.
Then why
but
are you saying
it's
the
not the right
I
way?
do
I'm
it?
just saying it's probably not the right way. So I'm going to ask everybody to subscribe and leave me a little, like a heart emoji or a smile, or say hi, Marlette, Marlett.
What are they going to do there?
And read my mind.
.com you talking about? So you want them
Yeah.
to subscribe and then leave a comment on the episodes type of thing?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Now, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah. I would like
If you-
everybody to say hi. I would love it. I feel that energy. It would just make me so happy. Just tell me hi.
You know how many times I ask people
And subscribe.
to subscribe, to
It's-
reach
it's-
out. I
it's-
give the phone number. I give the thing. I get some people. But you think you're going to get...
Why? What's so funny? Yes.
I don't
My
know.
energy and their energy. They're feeling my energy. They're going to go and they're going to subscribe and they're going to say,
So what's the
hi,
matter with my
Marlette."
energy?
Marlett. Hi, Marlette.
What's the matter with my energy?
And I'm going to say hi right back.
Wow.
And I'm going to send the emojis and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have an awesome energy.
Okay. I hope you're right. I mean,
I'm right. I'm right.
I would be, on the real, I'd be jealous. I'm not going to lie. I'd be a little jealous. I'm not going to hate, though. I don't think they're going to do it anyway.
All right.
Because I know you're only doing this because you lost the TikTok battle, because you never did, because I won the TikTok battle.
I didn't do the TikTok.
First of all,
because
I'm
I
going
didn't
to
wanna
put
hurt
my
your
TikTok.
feelings.
I killed that joint. If I have an audio described TikTok, I'm killing the game. Put some audio description on my TikTok, and then everybody be like, yo, TikTok killer. T. Reed,
Now,
TikTok
speaking of
killer.
audio description,
All right. Thank you, man. You trying to take over the podcast now. I
I'm
can
not
tell.
done.
Excuse me?
I'm not done. Why are you trying to kick me off? You know what it is, right?
What?
He's jealous. Because the shows that I'm on do so well. Because I'm on it. It's that energy.
The energy that's going to get people to do what?
They're going to go and they're going to subscribe.
And then how you going to know they did that?
Because they're going to leave me a little note and it's going to say, hi, Marlette. Marlett.
You know you got that spelling thing from me, right?
I think you got it from me. Yes. So make sure you go. Read My Mind Radio.
Where can they subscribe to the podcast?
Anywhere that has podcasts.
And then what's the website?
ReadMyMind.com or to the EID.
D, and that's me in the place to be.
Like my last name.
That was good.
Peace.
That is. All right, nice. You trying to get your own podcast. Whatever, B. I didn't press record.
That's not even funny.